Well, folks, we got some big news here out of Washington, D.C. The United States and Ukraine have struck a deal over the oil, gas, and rare earth minerals that are in Ukraine that is really going to be a guarantee for Ukraine and kind of cementing the United States' presence in Europe, in Ukraine, for the long run. We are talking about billions of dollars in resources in a joint fund and a shift in the demand. Now, Trump has shifted his demands. He's had a lot of different demands, but obviously they are coming to an agreement. It is said that Vladimir Zelensky will be coming to the United States on Friday, I believe the 28th, to sign a deal regarding the rare earth mineral. So we're going to break this down, what this means for both countries, and what the deal actually is going to look like. But if you're new here, drop down below and hit that subscribe button and make sure you never miss another video from our channel in the future. Now, as of February 26th, which is today, the United States and Ukraine have a framework deal that will give the United States access to Ukrainian oil, gas, and rare earth minerals. Really, the key feature of this deal here is that there's going to be a joint investment fund that will be created between the two, where 50% of all revenue from these resources, from monetizing these natural resources that Ukraine has, will get pooled in a fund that is for supposedly mutually beneficial. Initially, Trump wanted like $500 billion from Ukraine in profit, just straight from them, from the rare earth minerals, to support or to repay what the U.S. has done for Ukraine. And as of for now, he's dropped that idea of a kind of a profit-sharing approach to it. Now, obviously, nothing is set in stone, and security guarantees for Ukraine are still up in the air at this point, which talks are set to occur later this week between President Trump, Zelensky, and both governments. Obviously, in order to finalize this needs to go through the Ukrainian parliament in order for Zelensky to be able to agree to this. But as of right now, they have a tentative framework deal that can move forward. Now, here's a little concern that I have is they talk about it in here, and I'm just going to try and find it. Let's see. It talks about how this money is going to go into a fund that is going to help rebuild. And let's see if I can find there's going to be a lot of re's. Yeah. That this money is going to go into a fund which is then going to help rebuild. It's going to help rebuild Ukraine, put them back in to where they were previously to this, which, and I'm fine with that. But the U.S. needs to be able to see some return on that money. We can't just be putting all this money into a joint investment fund and then it goes right back 100% into Ukraine. It's like, I think it is a good idea to strengthen our ties with our European allies. Don't get me wrong. We need to have good deals with our European allies. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we're not being taken advantage of, that we are, we put out estimates are between about $120 to $130 billion for Ukraine in this war over the last 3 years. We need to make sure that we can see some return on investment over the long run, something that can be a long-term asset for the United States. And I see it right here. The fund will then invest in projects related to Ukraine's reconstruction and infrastructure. Zelensky said he hoped a deal on security guarantees would follow, which, if it can drive economic growth in the United States, whether if we are, if they are going to, let's say they're rebuilding a building, maybe, are they going to be buying steel from the United States? Are they going, a way to drive economic growth in the United States while at the same time rebuilding Ukraine? Hey, I'm all about that. Take half this money that they're making on revenue from these resources, put it into a fund. You use that fund to basically pump it back into the American economy, buy products from America, buy American, hire American, rebuild Ukraine. It's kind of a win-win. Ukraine, they can build themselves back up. The United States can have economic growth an economic activity that is happening that would not have happened, or it would not have happened at this scale if we didn't have some sort of joint investment fund like this. But like we said, security guarantees are still to follow. There are no guarantees as of right now. And here's the thing with Ukraine's resources and why it matters. Ukraine is a mineral gold mine. Now, before the war in 2022, minerals were made up like 6 or 7% of the total GDP and like 30% of Ukraine's total exports. Now, granted, that was considering the area that they had before. There's a map down here. So this part of Ukraine that Russia has taken over. There are deposits of rare earth minerals, titanium, and other natural assets that the country could use are now in Russian territory. But on the other hand, Russia has also come out and said that they would be willing to make some sort of deal with the United States as far as rare earth minerals, oil, gas, different minerals that are in the ground there. Now, as we said, Ukraine is home to a mineral gold mine right now. They have supposedly, as of 2019, they had 7% of the world's supply, I believe, of titanium, which is used in nuclear plants and planes, plus lithium and other rare earth, what is it called? Rare earth, not minerals. They use a different word. It is minerals, but they use a different word on here. Rare earth elements, a group of 17 exotic minerals used to make everything from smartphones and electronic devices. But this isn't a new idea. Initially, this was pitched back in September of 2024. Zelensky pitched the idea to Trump when they met at Trump Tower to keep U.S. aid flowing to Ukraine. And here's the thing. Why should the United States care about this? Yes. Do we have a lot of resources in the United States that we can use? And there's, we have Canada, who we can buy resources from. And, if we were to ever take over Greenland, that's the rare earth minerals there. And then you also look at Alaska. But here's the big thing. We need to diversify ourselves from China. They are the rare earth kingpin of the world when it comes to these rare earth minerals. They provide between 50 to 70% of all rare earth minerals in the economy. We need to divest, just like Europe needs to do the same thing. We need to divest from China, making sure that we have other ways to get secure long-term partnerships with other countries that we can get these rare earth minerals from, reducing our reliance on China for these minerals that are critical to our economy, whether it's to national security, whether it's for defense products, whether it's for consumer products. We need to make sure it's consumer products make up a big chunk of the economy, and having these rare earth minerals that are used in developing, whether it's a nuclear power plant or technology, advanced U.S. weaponry systems. These rare earth minerals are used in those processes there. But there is a little, like we said, a little bit of a problem where 40% of all Ukraine's minerals are in Russian-held areas. I believe they have 2 lithium mines that are held in Russian-controlled territory as of right now, which is kind of a big deal. But also, like we said, Russia said they would be willing to negotiate with the United States as far as selling these minerals to the United States. And there are some people who say that this is almost colonial and that the U.S. is exploiting a war-torn Ukraine. But here's the thing. Zelensky has rejected early drafts of this, wanted to secure solid promises, and a lot of these details are still to be determined at this point. But the thing is, the United States dished out $130 billion for Ukraine. There is nothing wrong with securing a long-term partnership with them in which we can do both. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can rebuild Ukraine at the same time we drive economic activity in the States and for American workers. Like we said, Russia's in the mix too, offering U.S. deals on occupied Ukrainian land. So it's a geopolitical mess there. It has been for 3 years, and Trump is the best hope that we have. And obviously, they've had 3 years under the Biden administration to close this deal up, and they haven't. and now we're about as close to a deal as we ever have been here. But as we know, what are the next steps here? Zelensky is going to be traveling to the United States to have a meeting with President Trump. They're going to sign in this framework and then really try and negotiate and lock in security guarantees. And obviously the big picture is think like Marshall Plan vibes, but with rare earth minerals in an active war. High stakes, high tech. If it works, Ukraine gets aid, the U.S. gets minerals, we get economic activity, they get infrastructure that's rebuilt there. It's a win, 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 win. Is it risky? Hell yeah. But what in life isn't risky? What in life, it's like, and Trump is really doing everything he can to secure this. It's like it's a quadruple win. On so many, and you could add in even more wins. You know, the war is over. We could potentially have a deal with Russia. There's a lot of other wins that you could get out of this here. But that's going to be it for our video today. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this deal, Trump, Zelensky, critical rare earth mineral deal. They're going to sign it on Friday, and security guarantees from here on out. So if you're new to the channel, if you like this video, drop down below, hit that like button if you like the video, and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you never miss another video from us again in the future. We'll catch you next time, guys.